Last time on MegaMan NT Warrior, we met Lan Hikari, a 5th grader who loves to battle on the internet with his digital AI avatar called a NetNavi. His scientist dad gave him a state-of-the-art Navi named MegaMan, and the two have quickly become a team. They beat 2 World 3 villains, the fiery Torchman and the shocking Wackoman. The World 3, by the way, is a cyber-terrorist organization. They use NetNavis to hack into important networks all over the city, like causing ovens to burst into flames or subways to go wild. But when Lan isn't saving the day, he's just a regular student who's almost always late. This time in class, there's a new student in town named Yai Glyde. She apparently skipped a few grades due to her intelligence, but even more than that, she's just filthy rich. She even has her own video resume that exists just to hype her up for a solid hour. Yai spends the next bit of time just flexing on the whiteboard, writing all sorts of actual nonsense, just absolute gibberish. She strikes a rock pose at the end like she absolutely crushed it. What is she even saying? For lunch, this girl calls her personal butler squad, and these are real pros, like step 1, clear off that commoner trash. Step 2, pour strawberry milk from a wine bottle. Step 3, steak in a delicate herb sauce flown in directly from Texas. Sidebar, I guess the United States is canon to NT Warrior, or at least the dub, because Yai's hype video also talks about Hollywood celebrities. As the show goes on, the world and its country counterparts get more defined, but in my personal headcanon, Hollywood and Texas are just a part of Netopia. Anyway, Lan and Dex decide to just roll up on a 1%er's gate and sneak through a hole. The security catches the live stream and Yai decides to have some mischievous fun with them. What a little punk. You're probably thinking trained dogs or security guards, but nope. Yai sends out a lawnmower, tennis ball cannons, and even statue hoses. Oh, and a cage. MegaMan jacks into the network to bust out the humans. There he meets Glyde, who is Yai's NetNavi butler, who is also not amused, and in true Yu-Gi-Oh style just drops a trap hole. Meanwhile, the roads in DenTech City have gotten clogged with cars. It's chaos all around as the traffic light system got hacked. Meet our new World 3 villain of the week. Her name is Maddy. Maddy. And while this is bad, just know that in Battle Network 1, the video game she's from, she causes the autopilot in cars to collide with each other and explode. So yeah, lots to be grateful for in the anime. But no gratitude for Yai. This spoiled little girl has to use the restroom, but she's too embarrassed to sit on a toilet that isn't made of gold. Her words, not mine. She heads to her limo, but lo and behold, it's the traffic jam of the century, so Yai's gonna have to hold it in. And that is karma. Glyde suggests entering the network to see if he can fix things. Must be nice to have your own limo with a mobile hotspot, and I guess that's especially literal. This is a mobile hotspot. Glyde discovers a ton of Met viruses disrupting the system. It could take ages to defeat them all, but what's worse, Glyde gets jumped by Wackoman, who is Maddy's NetNavi. Back to Lan, he realizes something's wrong as well and catches Yai jumping off cars in a desperate restroom emergency. MegaMan enters the traffic light system to help out Glyde as Lan busts his Heelys on and rushes Yai through the traffic control building for a not-so-golden toilet. When he helps her, he's able to jack back in and finally send MegaMan some battleships. This is good because Wackoman has been absolutely demolishing the two with his ball attack. But Torchman and Wackoman must have shared horror stories with Wackoman, because just the mere threat of a cyber sword is enough to make Wackoman jack out. I said this in the last episode, but wow, sword is such a lowly chip in the video games that's weirdly effective in the show. All's well that ends well though. The roads are back to normal and Yai appreciates Lan enough to thank him. The next day, Yai shows up to school in a fancy pink car and proclaims that she just got this new one from her dad. This time it's got a restroom built in, proving that Yai did not learn any lesson at all and that cold hard cash is king. But you know, being rich also puts a target on you, especially when there are rare battleship collectors that are desperate enough to nab them. Yes, we finally get to meet one of my favorite characters and soulmates, Mr. Higsby. As a real-life battleship collector, I absolutely relate with Higsby on a fundamental level, especially considering how much he loves teachers. Of course, I don't relate to him enough to commit crime, so we start off this episode with Numberman absolutely dominating some rando NetNavi. Take note, This is possibly the only scene in the entire series where Numberman is a Chad. It also shows us something fascinating, and that's the creation of a battle chip. In the video games, you earn battle chips for deleting enemies, and that process is never really made clear. It seems like a blank chip downloads the data from deleted viruses or navis, which is kind of a cool process, and it makes sense. Just thought it'd be fun to point out. So Lan rushes over to school and bumps into the man himself. A bunch of battle chips fall out of a briefcase, and Higsby's all mad about it, talking like, better not be any scratches. But Higsby, where is your binder? Where are your sleeves? Imagine if a trading card collector like, I don't know, Kaiba just played Yu-Gi-Oh! Without any sleeves. Like, you think he'd complain about... Well, actually, I guess he doesn't play with sleeves either. Lan is apologetic and even freaks out over one of the chips.
Wow, that's a good one! Give me that!
Lan, sorry, this is air shot. I'm not going to call it awful, but it is not something to get rizzed over. He heads over to class late, and who's the guest lecturer from Den University but Mr. Higsby himself? He's also a virus-busting expert and a hacker, and talks about the school system's firewall protection system. After school, Lan, Dex, and Meilu head over to Yai's house. She's got a state-of-the-art treehouse with a 3D net battling arena. Yai also flexes two of her rarest chips, Hero Sword, which, wow, that actually is an awesome chip, and Life Aura? The casual Life Aura. You know, the signature chip of the game's final boss? Yeah, that's the power of money, folks. But unfortunately, Numberman spied on this by hacking into Yai's system. This makes Higsby go to Miss Mari to ask all about Yai. This reminds Miss Mari about Lan, Yai, and the others coming after school to help her. Miss Mari forgot all about it, and she's so grateful by this little reminder that she stands up and grabs Higsby's hand to thank him. And faster than you can S-rank him met, my boy Higsby gets the biggest crush, and who can blame him? Lan is, of course, late for the special meeting, and right on time, he slams headfirst into a locked door. Turns out Numberman has taken over the school security system. He demands that Yai and only Yai can battle him, and she must wager her two rare battle chips. Glyde starts off right away with Hero Sword, but Numberman counters this with a barrier and laughs at him for wasting his powerful attack. From the outside, MegaMan gets jacked in to help Glyde. He dodges one of Numberman's dice bomb attacks, but that puts him behind the school's cyber wall security. This is a powerful wall, but it also tells the victims more about their perpetrator. It's someone who knows security and someone who cares about battle chips. It must be Higsby. Ms. Mari is astonished that he'd commit a crime for some rare chips, but that just makes Higsby angrier. More dice bombs go off, so Yai defends herself with a casual Life Aura, and I guess those are the only two chips she brought today, because this butler has no more attack power and can only defend. MegaMan needs to break through the cyber walls quick and help. Meilu asks Miss Mari if she knows the passwords to dissolve the security. She does, but she forgot them. Even angels aren't perfect. Roll has the idea to read the wall's interface for any clues, and can I just say, this is a huge security flaw, but whatever. Roll spells out DOVE, which means the number of doves around the school is the password. Thankfully, Lan being late was actually a good thing because he's free to move around outside and help find the answer. And I gotta say, I know this is a Japanese show, but I have never ever heard of a school owning 34 doves. Like, what do you even do with them? They'll just fly away. And a special shout out to the English dub for this great exchange.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyway, MegaMan dissolves one wall with this 2-digit code. The next password is the number of school's tennis rackets. Lan is on a mission. He'll bust right into the girls' locker room if he has to.
Sorry about that, girls!
There are 63 rackets up on the wall, and again, another wall falls. The last clue is the number of potted flowers in the schoolyard. Unfortunately, there are a lot of flowers, so counting them is taking a long time. And while Lan gets his concentration interrupted, Glyde is running out of Life Aura protection. Thankfully, Sal from the last episode's tea shop is there to save the day. She planted all the flowers and knows there's 665 of them. This whole episode, by the way, Sal has just been lurking every now and then, which is interesting. With the last password, MegaMan can finally swoop in. They use area grab to move Glyde out of the way of a 666 bomb, and we've upgraded, folks. Lan doesn't send over a cyber sword, he sends over a wide sword. Nice. Just as MegaMan's about to cleave up Numberman, the lodger begs for mercy and removes the security locks. Higsby falls to the floor and blabbers for forgiveness while Miss Mari chastises him. She could put him in jail with a single phone call, but she suddenly changes her tune. The precious teacher asks Higsby to think back on his past and remember what it was like to have his first battle chip as a kid. We see a cute little Higgers, and the adult version just breaks down crying. Shout out to Miss Mari. She didn't remember a single 2 or 3 digit password, but she's so darn cute. And by giving Higsby another chance, she gave him the redemption he needed to be a better person. So the next day, Lan is running late again, and deja vu, he bumps right back into Higsby. This time, there's not only no binder or sleeves, Higsby was just carrying piles of them with his raw hands. I mean, that's not a big deal. Battle chips are pretty sturdy, but you can't get upset about scratches or fingerprints, you dingus. He's got good news though. He's now running a battle chip store that might help out Lan and his friends. And what's the trendy name of this store? Something exciting and memorable? Nope, it's called Chip Shop. Someone get this man a PR team. And someone get Lan a better brain, because he rushes over to school only for MegaMan to wake up and remind him that it's Saturday. So that's it for episodes 3 and 4. I gotta ask, what was Higsby's main plan from this? I know that he really wanted the Life Aura and Night Sword chips, but I kind of feel like there's a better way to go about it than just breaking into the school security system. Like, he's the only one who could have done it. Could he really expect to get away? But again, as a battle chip collector, I can absolutely empathize with the man. There are some things that money just can't buy, and some things you do a lot to get. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode. Tune in next week for another week of MegaMan NT Warrior, and catch us on Twitch. We are playing through every single Nintendo DS game, and we're starting with the letter A with Advance Wars. I'll catch you next time, Scouts.